The numbers suggest way different. Like, he too smart to say that. He way different than what he just told Andre Ward, okay? So him going on Andre Ward podcast 5 years later, Joe Buttons, will we see him on Gil's Arenas? Who else? Y'all beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you think. But he has been walking up to these guys, and when they ask the question, trust me, I know Stephen A. Smith ain't walking in there talking about, ask me about Max. Yeah, like, it ain't that level of insecurity. But when they do go there, he can't say it the right way.
Mic check, mic check. Man. So in today's video, we got to talk about Stephen A. Smith. Seems like he's doing his quarterly press run, talking about Max Kellerman and the reason why he got rid of Max Kellerman and all that stuff, right? And Stephen A. Smith just flat out lied this time around, again, about the Max Kellerman situation. And I would like to highlight what Marcellus Wiley had to say about it, because he broke it down even further, pointing out how Stephen A. Smith lied. Because now Stephen A. Smith is trying to say, oh, you know, the reason why it didn't work out with Max is because in year 2 of working alongside Max Kellerman, I knew it wasn't going to work out because of the fans, like the fan reactions. But let me show you guys the clip of Stephen A. Smith talking about that.
I felt like about 2 years in, I didn't think it was going to work long term. I was like Stephen A. against the world.
You're at the helm. This is your show.
That's right.
In steps Max Kellerman.
Yes, I needed a partner. They were looking for somebody to replace Skip for 5 days a week, and I knew that his personality was different than that of Skip Bayless, but obviously he's a brilliant brother.
It was working until it wasn't. And you said pretty early on, you started noticing, I got my approach, I'm straight to the point, I'm unapologetic about it. Max has a slightly different approach, but you felt like it wasn't gonna work long before it ended.
I felt like about 2 years in, I didn't think it was gonna work long term. I didn't have regrets about bringing him on board. You know that as time was evolving and you saw the other shows and you saw the talent, people clamoring for a point of view mattered. They're looking for conflict and confrontation.
It's a debate show.
That's right, it's a debate show. And it got to a point where that's not what folks were getting. And so you see people opening their mouths and talking about, you know, it was Stephen A. wanted this or whatever. It's not about what I want. It's about what the audience wants. So what it was saying was, we together didn't work. Now maybe it was a byproduct of what we had trained the audience to be accustomed to with me and Skip.
I'll put my salary on it.
I swear I wish this some water about throw this in. How could, what?
Just donate it to charity. You know why?
$8.5 million? And the fact that that wasn't there, okay, is something they lamented. My point is, that's what they lamented.
It's not personal.
It's not personal.
Never been
It's not personal. They didn't say me, him, or whatever. They said us. So what I was saying was, okay, they said that in year 2, and 3, and 4, and now here we are in year 5. What y'all gonna do about it? I was willing to come off First Take and do other things, and obviously they didn't want that, and so they made the decision that they made. I had to make it work, or else. I was like Stephen A. against the world.
So that's what Stephen A. Smith said, right? And like I said, it's like he does this quarterly or twice a year talking about the Max Kellerman thing. And for him to say that, it's just crazy, because the reason why he's still being asked about Max Kellerman to this day is because the fans gravitated towards Max Kellerman, which is why Terrell Owens had that viral moment on First Take about Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman.
I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. With his coming, with his commentary.
With all due respect, my brother.
I'm just saying, dog.
Wait a minute. Wait to finish.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to check you right now. You don't cross the line.
I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. You don't cross the line. First of all.
So I think we all understand that's the reason why Stephen A. Smith wanted to get rid of Max Kellerman, because we know Max Kellerman was making him look like a company white black dude that, you know, just cared about the bosses and the bosses' orders, and, you know, like the tweet that Stephen A. Smith put out, and how he only cares about what his bosses think and how to make his bosses more money and stuff like that, right? So, and then also you got to keep in mind Stephen A. Smith was the only guy that was sitting there still blasting players, how much money they make, and how certain players and how certain guys shouldn't be making X amount of dollars. So, you know, it was just like, yo, from the looks of it, Max is not doing this. Why are you the brother that's on live television having to do all this type of stuff, right? So for him to say, oh, you know, the fans didn't gravitate towards First Take or whatever, that's a flat out lie, which brings us to Marcellus Wiley. because Marcellus Wiley was doing a video reaction to it, and he had broke everything down. As far as breaking down the analytics of everything about First Take around that time when Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith were on together. So let's highlight this clip of Marcellus Wiley exposing Stephen A. Smith for being a liar, man. Let's check out this clip right here.
Be sure to hit that like button for me if you haven't already. That helps this YouTube channel continue to grow. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with all of my current YouTube videos. Peace.
These are the year-by-year ratings. This is how the audience speaks. This is how you guys talk, okay? Let's go before Max. So let's go all the way back. They don't even publish it back then. It was AM radio. Nah, they don't have these ratings. I look, but whatever. Let's go right before Max gets there. Max gets there at 2016. So 2013, the range is 250 to 350,000, okay? Let's keep it there. That's Skip Bayless at the end. And then they said the real number when Max first got there was 330,000. So a little less than 350. 330, remember that, okay? They sum it up as the moderate, steady audience. Online sources suggest gradual rise, right? Then Max comes, it goes 330 to 350. Max in year one takes it 350. They on ESPN, audience growth follows. Here's year two, where Stephen A. Smith says this is when people start telling them this ain't it. They jump 50,000 to their highest published rating right here. Published rating, okay? So definitely the highest with Max and higher than it was with Skip, because Skip was there 2013 to 2016. Okay, so like I said, I don't like to call a man a liar, but tell the truth, brother. Now, this is after year two when all of a sudden your spidey senses are going off and you're like, what the hell? This ain't it. This ain't us. Ratings boost. And you are now this face, the primary face, Stephen A. Smith. Let's go to year three. 2019, they're growing again, consistent growth, 420, highest ever. Let's go to 2020. It's at their highest place still, but it didn't go up. Rating steady despite pandemic. So we all at home. We know what happened at the pandemic. We love you, ESPN, but boy, we love YouTube more. YouTube was like, what? All them creators and et cetera, right? So you now battling with everybody at home, with everybody watching something and not always watching just sports, because the sports was affected. Because you remember there wasn't any audience and no fans in the stand. That made it look weird. I even went to a game when the fans weren't in the stands. Like it was like 20 of us at a Charger game. Yuck. It felt crazy. So watching it on TV too felt weird as well. And definitely watching a show talking about a game with no fans felt a little off. But still at their peak numbers from when Max was there and even before when Skip was there. Now, 2021, we're still at that peak. Flat trends. So it's been 3 years of peak, but flat. Peak, flat. I hear you, Stephen A., but that's when Max is gone. You mean this guy took it from 330 to 420 with you, which is 90,000 people, which is almost a quarter of this, like 25% increase in growth, and higher than it was with Skip when he left, but it's a problem. Now, let's give Stephen A. some credit. When Max left, it went down, and then it went up slightly. Slight increase, social audience building, right? We're really locked in now. Then it, boom, 496. That's the all-time high, right? And 17 straight months of year-over-year growth, okay? So now they're rolling. So this justifies what Stephen A. Smith was saying. Something ain't right. It could be bigger. Instead of saying it's big, he's like, nah, I know it's big. I know it's growing. It could be bigger, okay? Peep game. So I'm giving him all his credit. Trust me. Then the next year, we went from 496 to 400 to 500. We're in that world, but here we go. Remain strong in one of the top shows, but maybe a little flat or just a slight dip, but we're right there. Then watch. This year, 401. What just happened? 401, that's less than when Max was there, when Max had to go. This is the Max year, 420. You're at 401 right now. Okay. I get it. Football season is coming and all that. Yeah. That's factored into all of these numbers every single year. So the point of it is, wow, it doesn't line up for when Stephen A. Smith said in year two that Max Kellerman was an issue, or he was an issue, or they together was an issue. It doesn't add up. The show literally went from 330 to 420. So there's another reason why. There got to be another reason why. Because it's not the numbers. It's not what Stephen A. Smith just said to Andre Ward, looking him straight in his eye and telling him a lie.
Okay, so if you want to watch more of that, man, you can go check it out on Marcellus Wiley's video. I'll have the link to that down below. He dropped like a 20-minute video on the topic. And yeah, man, I just want to show you guys a little bit of that clip of him breaking down the analytics, somebody who worked at Fox Sports and obviously ESPN as well. So that's why I wanted to highlight his clip. And yeah, man, you know, Stephen A. Smith is full of BS. And like I said, man, we see the comments, we see the clips, we see everything as far as how Max Kellerman was handling Stephen A. Smith. He never let Stephen A. Smith little boy him or anything like that. Because, you know, Stephen A. Smith likes to highlight and tell people, oh, I brought you here. He's the reason this. I'm the reason why this person is doing that. You know, he didn't really pull that card with Max Kellerman like that. And like Marcellus Wiley would always say, I think it was really an intellectual thing that Stephen A. Smith was battling with, working alongside Max Kellerman. His intelligence made him feel small and weak. And that's the reason why Stephen A. Smith got rid of him. It was not because of the fans or numbers or anything like that. Obviously, it was a personal issue with Stephen A. Smith. And I think that personal issue is how he felt alongside Max Kellerman. And obviously, people like Terrell Owens, and how people were pointing out how Max Kellerman seems like he's the black guy and Stephen A. Smith was the white guy on that show, man. So that was something that he was battling with mentally, having to work alongside Max Kellerman for those years, man. And that's just my thoughts on that, man. So I would like to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. So get in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Catch you guys on the next one, and we out, guys. Peace.